All right, people. We gotta have a talk about this new Luna service. It's not new. I know it's not. It's probably been around a bit. I haven't done a ton of research how long. Don't really care, and I'll tell you why. So tonight I decided to go on Twitch and try this out because I just happened to be on Twitch and it's like, hey, you can stream with Luna. And look, there are these games you can stream with Luna. So I'm like, cool, let's give it a shot. Being a Souls guy, I saw they had Mortal Shell, which is the video you're seeing now of the stream. I've cut the audio way down. You might not hear anything from it, which is good because it started off at a definitely loud volume, which, yeah, it's fine. This is after me even adjusting it down. I adjusted that even more because I still couldn't hear. Now, the reason I didn't keep the original audio of this is something I'll address a little later when I talk about the Luna streaming side of things. Let's start with the basics, though. Let's start with the actual gameplay. Now, it looks smoother on here than when I was playing. Because I did stream straight through Luna, straight through the website, did not use an encoder, didn't bring up OBS, none of that. This is the integrated streaming stuff all through Luna. But the actual gameplay on my side, the camera feels loose and sloppy at times. It drifts. Like if you tap it, it doesn't seem to, but if you hold it for any length of time, when you release, there's no telling if it's going to go just as far as you want it, or if it's going to move a little bit extra. And that's everything. That's literally everything. Every control input. It's like, okay, is it going to happen now or in a couple seconds? And it's hard to say when it will happen. That's the worst part. So now, when I'm playing this game, there are times when there are obvious frame drops. And I'm going to leave the whole stream. I'm going to put it up as an unlisted link in this video description. It's an hour long. There is some commentary at the beginning. But we'll get to the Luna stuff, the streaming stuff in a second, as to why there isn't commentary through most of it. But yeah, no, the experience of playing Mortal Shell this way was terrible. There were frame drops, tons of frame drops on my side. Again, I haven't watched the whole stream to see if that's reflected because it comes in later on in the video. Controls feel super loose, super unresponsive. You expect there to be some kind of delay when you swing a weapon in a Souls type game, but this was not that delay. This was the delay of not getting input. Now, you might go, okay, well, you're probably playing wireless, or you're probably playing on your TV, or you're sitting. No, this is on my desktop computer where I play games and used to stream from on a regular basis, way back when I used to stream. It's what I play on now. I play Elden Ring on it. I play it. It has, it's not the greatest computer on earth, and it has issues, but it can play games, and it can stream. Sometimes not both at the same time for some games, but it can do it. And this was just a garbage experience from end to end. I'm on a gigabit Ethernet connection, fiber connection, 883 megs down. I tested it tonight after I played. And now up, it's only 93, but I was streaming at the time, so I can't say if that would impact it for the testing purposes, because obviously if it's already streaming up a bunch of stuff, I don't know what all it's streaming, what the data, the bandwidth being used, so I don't want to say if it's better or worse right now. I'm just recording this locally. But honestly, it's one of those problems I have that there's no reason why, even with a worse up and under 100 up, then I should be having as many issues as I was having. Because the bulk of it is coming down, right? The bulk of it is what's supposed to be coming down to me, the video feed. The up should be very minimally necessary. That's more for if I'm streaming. And the fact is, now that I'm not streaming at all, I just did a speed test, and I'm gonna put up on screen here in a minute. But I'm just waiting for it to finish off the entire thing. But I got an 8 millisecond ping. I had a 5 millisecond ping when I was testing before. Now I have an 8 millisecond ping, which is not that much worse. And when you see the numbers, you'll see why it doesn't make sense that I'm significantly worse. It just doesn't make sense. It will not make sense to you because it doesn't make sense to me. I'm telling you this now because they say you're supposed to be able to do this. Ladies and gentlemen, streaming is the future. They want you to stream your games. They don't want you to own your games. And this is how they would love for you to participate in gameplay in the future. And I don't see it. You know, I'm sorry. I am not a convert to the streaming world. Because with the levels I have, there's no way. That with the level of everything that I have, there's no way. It should be running smooth as butter. It should be running smooth as butter. But it isn't. You know, and again, it's hard to see from this. Because, again, I think the Luna capture was fine. Because this is running on their servers, so the stream looked fine. Now look, it looks nice and clear, but for me, it was like this weird blurriness that I couldn't put to words in the stream. And with this level, I mean, just look. This is my connection speed, folks. I'm going to show it to you in just a second. This is my connection speed. This is what I'm connecting at right now. There should be no problem with me playing this game online. Nearly a gig up and down. Nearly a gig. And so, with nearly a gig going up and down, even streaming, I should be able to play this game without massive amounts of latency. But no. Again, not so much. Not so much. Instead, I had to experience what's probably said the worst game experience I've ever had. Now, let's talk about. I played another game again, so you'll see it in the stream. I played King of Fighters. King of Fighters, video is fine. It's a super old game. Video is fine. Input latency, still there. It still feels like I'm playing in mud. And that's the problem. That's the problem I've always said. Round trip controller inputs are always going to be the death knell for game streaming. If you are a casual player and you don't really game very often, or if you play games that don't require Twitch reflexes or even semi-quick reflexes, because this, like, holy cow, even trying to go and compensate for it as you would for a Souls game, even that, it still was not working well for me. So if you are not really a gamer, streaming services might work for you. But if you've played games locally, no, you're going to hate this experience. it's going to feel bad. I don't know if Stadia is any better, but I doubt it. I highly, highly doubt it. Because this was just a terrible experience, end to end. Don't recommend. Now, before I move on to the streaming part of it, let's talk about the actual deal you get. Now, I'm an Amazon Prime member, and Amazon Prime gets a ton of stuff. With this, you get 3 games that you're allowed to play. I'm assuming they rotate or sorry, 4 games. You know, they probably rotate. May vary between how many games you get, but right now it's 4 games: Mortal Shell, King of Fighters, 98, Amnesia Rebirth, and Trax Toy Box Edition. Not necessarily a bad selection of games. Kind of odd cross section of what they have. But here's the problem. To play anything else, like the retro games and whatnot, you have to buy subscriptions. Subscriptions with an S. Because in true Amazon fashion, if you subscribe to their Luna Plus, you get the Luna Plus games. But just like their video service, not all of what you see on the menu of games are Luna Plus games. Some of them are Capcom Plus games, called Retro Channel. Like I could even show you this. This is kind of the silliness that we're going into if we start looking at all the various and sundry items that you can opt in for. And it just doesn't make sense to me. Because that really shouldn't be a thing. I'm sorry to tell you this. This shouldn't be a thing. Not at all. Like, why are you breaking up your service again in some stupid way? You know? And I can show you how they're breaking up in a stupid way. That's the worst part. So let's go ahead and have a look at the Amazon quote-unquote store of games. Alright, let's go ahead and have a look. So here is the Amazon store of games, right? So, again, as I say, you have your members play free. You have King of Fighters, Amnesia, Trax, and Mortal Shell. Cool. Excellent. Decent selection for a relatively cheap price. And I don't expect to get more than that. But then you go down here, alright? Well, you want to play Smite? Well, that's gonna mean you gotta get Luna Plus. And you get a 7-day trial of Luna Plus if you want. If you want. But if you want a different game, what if you want to say play an old Capcom game? Oh, you gotta get the retro channel for that. Gotta get the retro channel for that. That one doesn't. That one you don't get for free. You don't get with Luna Plus either. You know? What about, I don't know. You want to play Sonic Mania? That's Luna Plus. Good. That's Luna Plus. So I can get Luna Plus. Alright, that's fine. What if you want to play something else? Let's say we go down and you want to play some Saints Row. Luna Plus, that's good. But here's the thing. You might think Luna Plus is the only service and Retro Games the only service, right? No. We'll search through here. Let's talk about Ubisoft. What if you want to play Yakuza 0? Oh, that's still Luna Plus. Which one was it that I picked here originally? There was one I originally picked here. Well, I know which one is the Ubisoft game, so let's just go to the Ubisoft game. Where are we here? Where are you? Far Cry Ultimate Edition. Ubisoft Plus. Yeah. So if you want to play Ubisoft games on it, you can. But again, gotta have that subscription. Gotta have that subscription. Yep. Cannot at all get away from doing that. Can you, Amazon? It's ridiculous. Why they consistently do this over and over again, splitting up their content in some bizarre way like this, makes no sense to me. It's a terrible storefront idea because now you're not going to be able to get people to play these games. They're not going to want to play these games because they're not going to pay for these games. That's the problem. So now we have an issue with the final piece of this puzzle. The piece you'd think the owners of Twitch would have down pat. The portion of it that you think Twitch would have some kind of interface with. Oh no. No, they're oh my god. We'll bring this back so you can see the absolute travesty that is the system. You know, because I was kind of surprised. But I thought, like I said, they're gonna have this down pat. You know, of all of the issues, this is gonna be the one that I can't complain about. That's gonna work perfectly, right? Well, not so much. No, instead, Luna is just another problem child for this whole thing. So this is the entire broadcast interface. There's a problem here. Several problems. One, when you open up your mic and connect it, there's no levels anywhere. You can't know if you're actually getting levels or what levels you're getting. No idea. The camera works fine, whatever. That's pretty much standard. It does allow you to put it in one of the four corners, you know, whoop-de-doo. Yay. The broadcast title doesn't update the broadcast title. I'll say that again. The broadcast title feature that is integrated into Twitch, the thing that should work of all of the things on the screen right now without effort, does not work. It does not refresh the title of your stream. Why? I don't know. I think it put me in the right groups. I don't know because there's no way for me to check because it doesn't show me that. There's no monitoring for that anywhere. The chat pops up below the broadcast preview, so you have to scroll down or pop it out. Minor issues there. Here are the three big ones, though. One, this is in a web browser. And so is the game. So tabbing out doesn't always work because you lose your mouse completely sometimes. And when you try to actually interact with this, you might end up going back because if you touch anything on your controller, the controller starts actually controlling your browser. That's right. The controller you use, the buttons on it now do stuff to your browser. Like if you hit a shoulder button, you're going back a page, which is what happened. And that's why there's no audio in my stream because it went back a page, undid this, and then when I moved it back forward, even though it showed the mic icon on the Twitch page that was streaming my gameplay, on this page the mic wasn't on, and so I was not broadcasting audio for most of my stream. And again, with no audio levels, I don't know that is happening. We're talking base functionality here. Base functionality. Like, okay, at least let me know if my mic is on or off at the very minimum, Twitch, at the very minimum. But you don't even do that. You don't even do that. That's like the worst part. You don't even do that. No. What you do is instead, if you go to just chatting and say they're too long, the stream auto ends. This was the important feature, I guess, that they didn't want you to be streaming and just chatting through Luna. Again, worst experience as a streamer, as a gamer, as everything. Worst experience. As a consumer, worst experience. It is shocking how good they are at selling you items and knowing how to sell you items, but how terrible they are at providing video and music service and now gaming service, because of this multi-tier bullshit that they integrate a dozen different services under one umbrella, and if you aren't paying for all the right services, you don't get everything, so you have to pay for additional services to these other companies instead of just making a deal with them to either have it under one umbrella payment system or, you know, just owning content all your own. Now, what do I think of Luna? If the several minutes that have bypassed have not, you know, the 22 minutes of me blathering on have not implied yet how bad this service is, it is the worst in every respect. There is not one upshot to this. The game was not playable. And I don't care if it's couch co-op or what you might offer, the fact that the controls are laggy as shit, you will notice and you will hate and you will not want to play the games. And if you don't want to play the games, well, then why are you playing on a gaming service? If you want to stream the games, Luna streaming is not the way to stream them. There are no controls, no monitoring. The basic function of setting your broadcast title doesn't work. A basic integrated function of any other service that hooks into Twitch doesn't work. I mean, like, what does work about this? That's what I wonder. What does work about this? Nothing seems to work the way it's supposed to. Nothing. And so, as such, I say, stay the fuck away from Luna. Don't stream on it. Don't stream their games. Don't buy or subscribe to their game services. Just get Steam. Get Epic. Get Good Old Games. Get an actual service where you own the game and you play it locally on your computer. And if you can't play on your computer, just don't. There are so many older games out there that you can play on something that's akin to a toaster oven these days. Find older games you may have missed out on and play those. Don't worry if you can't play the latest and greatest. Don't worry if you can't be a part of the zeitgeist of whatever current game is going on. Just find something you enjoy and have fun with it. don't waste your money. That's the bottom line. Just don't waste your money. And with that, I'm out of here. I'm going to bed. This was horrible, and I hated every minute